5 stages to sales growth. Not just marketing and sales, but your onboarding, your service, and your referral loop matters in creating an entire ecosystem of sales and growth for your business. So let's look at the questions and the examples that we can look throughout the process, all 5 stages, to get you to a better state of growth in your service-based business. Thank you for joining me here today. If you're interested, I have 5 questions that any service-based business owner can ask their clients. You're gonna find that in the links below. You can grab that now or pay attention here because we're gonna look at 5 other questions that you can be asking based on these different sales cycles. First, let's look at marketing. Marketing is that point in the process at which we are doing our best to generate leads and get exposure out in the marketplace. As those leads come in, we're asking ourselves, how do we generate that know, like, trust factor with our potential clients so that whether somebody needs 1 touch point or 50 touch points, they can find us, find that credibility, and build that trust with us before they make their first purchase decision. That's what you should be asking yourself as you're going through that marketing phase. How am I generating the know, like, trust factor here? The next stage is sales, and this is that process at which you have a lead that's identified and you actually work through the process of selling them on utilizing your services or your products. At this stage, what we're looking for is to truly understand what those clients are going to need from us. When we're offering services, it's not just a one and done sort of thing. You might have packages, but a lot of times there's some sort of level of custom work involved. And we know that as we get to the next stage, which I'll call onboarding, but that's at which we start worrying whether we're going to drop the ball or not. And that's the last thing we want to do. So as we get to stage 3, onboarding, we talk about how not to drop the ball. We should be asking ourselves this all the time. How do we, sales and the service side, really link up so that that transition is seamless and that trust and that goodwill, that know, like, trust factor that we have built through the marketing and sales stages, we retain throughout the entire client relationship. I've seen this go very, very badly. For example, one time a positive sign was entered instead of a negative sign somewhere down the line in one of my relationships. And that little simple mistake cost us $250,000. But it cost far more than that in the level of trust that we had generated with the client on a brand new relationship. There are costs involved when we ding that trust and goodwill, but we can also right the ship. Another relationship that I worked with had also started out on the wrong foot. It wasn't quite getting to that point of smooth operating, sailing. And what happened was it was really just a matter of communication. Looking at that situation, we went from having a lot of remote communication, emails, conference calls, which are great and sometimes is all that can be done. But in this case, going and sitting down in their office and hashing through the process really helped everybody build that trust that what we had said we would deliver in the sales process was actually what was going to happen day to day in the service process. And all of this happens in onboarding. So when you are shifting somebody from being a prospect into that long-term client relationship, focus on how not to drop the ball in those first couple of days to weeks, because that's where you really get to serve up the impression of not just enjoying that relationship, being appreciative of that relationship, but that they can really trust not only in you and your business, but the decision that they made to hire you. Now let's move on to the 4th stage. The 4th stage is service. This is that ongoing relationship. Now, if you are Amazon and you're offering something on Prime and let's say I make a purchase of some paper towels. Well, it doesn't take me much to get through the sales process or the onboarding, right? They're pretty much automated the whole thing and I have my product within 24 hours. But for service-based businesses, it's very different than that, right? We can have somebody come in and even after the sales cycle, it might take, in my experience from my former life working with asset management and investments, we could be working with somebody in the sales and marketing cycle for up to 10 years. Onboarding could take us 6 to 8 months sometimes if it was very complicated. But then what we were hoping for and what usually worked out is that we would retain somebody as a client for anywhere from 3 to 10 years or more. My longest relationship, I think, was close to 15. So really, there's so much potential for this extended relationship with the clients. And so when we're setting up our service-based business relationship with this client, we want to make sure that we've set it up for success. And that was that onboarding part. But now how do you monitor that once you're in the service phase? At that point, we want to be asking ourselves, how can I assess the entire experience? I know for me, there were situations where something started strongly, but over time, there might be a little hit there in this department. Like, maybe somebody misreported something. And over here, people weren't following up on their phone calls. And maybe over here, a key personnel that they really liked left the firm. Now, it doesn't look like it's a bad relationship, but that overall experience is lacking. And so that trust starts to diminish slowly over time. And we don't want that to happen. So when you have extended relationship with your client, it's very important to be looking at how to maintain that consistency throughout the entire journey. Because when we get to stage 5, which is that referral rainbow, that's getting people to come right back into our sales process because they've been referred to us, because it's repeat business and we're expanding that relationship, or they're just providing us recommendations or testimonials that provide that social proof for our future customers. We want that because that makes our marketing either on overload because we are getting extra leads in through this referral rainbow, or it means that we don't have to rely on the marketing quite as much. Whatever the case may be for your business, once we get to that point, it should be easy to ask for that. It should be actually a natural thing for our customers to want to do because we've been taking care of them and maintaining that trust and goodwill throughout the entire journey. Now, we had to build it at the beginning, build that know, like, trust factor. But then once we got into sales, we got a deeper understanding of them. We cultivated that relationship between the prospect and ourselves. In onboarding, we make sure that the ball never drops and we can sustain that high level of service throughout that next stage of the service process, however long it may be, so that by the time we get to that ask for a referral or a recommendation or repeat business, it becomes something based on trust. And we've been maintaining that all the way, so why wouldn't they trust us to take it the next step in the relationship? Now, I hope this helped you see how you can ask different questions at all of these 5 stages. Again, I'll go through those real quick. It's how to get that know, like, trust factor up when you're in the marketing stage. How can I better understand this client when I'm in the sales phase? When I'm onboarding somebody, transitioning them from prospect to client, how do I not drop the ball and be able to sustain something consistently? When we're in the service phase, what is that whole experience and how can I monitor it and sustain trust and goodwill throughout? And finally, what's the feedback? What is it that we need to do in order to make them a bigger partner? Somebody who refers us business, recommends us, and is willing to come for repeat business. What is the feedback from them? Now, if you're ready to go get feedback, you can grab below the PDF, the 5 questions every service-based business ask their clients to stand out and sell more. You'll find the link in the description below. Also, if you've gotten value out of this video, I'd love it if you'd like, subscribe for more updates, or give me a comment down below and let me know what you thought, or if you have any other questions that I could answer in future videos. But thank you for joining me here today. I look forward to seeing you next time.